Welcome to Conversations. I'm your host, Mel McKay. On today's program, I'm joined by Tom McEvilly from Little Miracles, Marsha McInnis from NAMI, and also we'll hear from Emily Scholz from Valley Humane Society. Joining me now is Anthony Lupian from Hope Hospice. Since 1980, Hope Hospice has been providing compassionate support and exceptional care to individuals and communities in the East Bay. Anthony, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. So tell us about your mission at Hope Hospice and whom you serve.
Like you said, we are an independent nonprofit hospice serving the Tri-Valley and East Bay counties since 1980. We serve everyone from the community regardless of ability to pay. People facing a serious illness or terminal illness. Our goal is to provide compassionate, quality, personalized care to those who are in need.
Such a wonderful mission. The part that gets me is those who can't afford it. It's so scary to get older and not have a financial backing or family to help you out. So Hope Hospice to the rescue. We hear the word hospice, and not everyone understands the different services that are under that umbrella for patients. Tell us about them, please.
So the whole goal of hospice is to provide comfort. So whatever that means for the family on a medical, physical, social, emotional, spiritual level. To do that, there's an interdisciplinary team composed of a physician, a doctor overseeing every case, a nurse, case manager, a social worker, of which I'm a social worker, a spiritual counselor if people want a spiritual counselor, a home health aide for personal hygiene, and a volunteer if they'd like. So this whole team works together to figure out what the patient and the family needs. We develop a care plan, personalized, and it kind of shows that healing comes in all forms, and it takes a team to address the complex issues in front of us when someone's dealing with death and dying and terminal illness.
Absolutely, and to have such a sweet, supportive, loving care staff. I mean, everybody I've met with Hope Hospice is just a dream.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So thank you, and thank you for what you do in your social work.
Thank you.
That's huge. What about caregivers? How do you support them?
So when a patient comes on, we meet with the patient and the whole family, and there's a full assessment done by a social worker, nurse, spiritual counselor, anyone who's on the team. And so in that, we assess what their needs are. Sometimes for a family member, they need a caregiver, they need help with the insurance, they just need emotional support. So there's a full assessment, and we adjust our care based on that need. In addition to that, we have a caregiver education series on our website that has been very helpful for people. You can watch it at your own time because one of the big things is trying to find the time for this stuff as you're caregiving for your loved one. But I will say, if we're doing our job right, like one of our main goals is that they get to be the spouse again, they get to be the son again, they get to be the daughter, because we are taking some of the pressure off of them having to manage the day-to-day. But as a social worker, I've connected many family members to support groups in the community. I've helped them find resources and give them the peace of mind so they can just take that deep breath and that sigh and they can just be with their loved one.
Yeah, that's hard to be the caregiver and try and put off your feelings as the family member to just be the caregiver.
Yeah.
So thank you for caring for the caregivers. So the holidays can be a rough time of year when your loved one is not doing well. What advice can you give families who are going through an issue to help everyone navigate the best way to handle this time of year with these circumstances?
Just the first thing is just to be really honest with what you're feeling. The holidays can be a reminder. It could be your first Christmas, your first New Year's without a loved one, and all the traditions you had may have to shift a little bit. But I would just say be honest. I think a lot of people try and follow like a linear progression of what they think grief is, and I should be here, I should be this, the Kubler-Ross model. I'm on stage 2 or 3 or 4, but it's not always linear. And just because you are in a different space doesn't mean you've taken a step back. And so really being honest where you are and just communicating with your community, like where you're at and what you need. Sometimes make a plan. If you're worried about an event, like make a plan with your loved ones of like how you enter that event and how you talk about these things. But it does take some time, but I just think the main thing is not to feel like you're taking a step back just because you're feeling something, just to be very honest with it and just work with that. We have a lot of groups coming up. We have one starting in December. You can check our website for grief support during the holidays. In addition to this, our ongoing bereavement support for community members. Anyone on hospice would get access to our bereavement support, but also community members can join as well. And all the information is on the website.
Thank you for saying that. I've never heard anyone say the stages can come in different ways.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. That's huge. Let's talk about volunteers. I'm sure you could use some.
Of course.
And what types of jobs would the volunteers be doing at Hope Hospice?
Everything and everything. So there's a clinical volunteer and kind of like an administrative volunteer. And so the administrative can help with like events. They will help us table events and get out into the community. There's also the clinical volunteer team member. I used to oversee the volunteer department, and one of the things is socialization. Sometimes it's just someone to be with the patient and read a book. I've seen them read poems, or sometimes they'll bring in the dog for pet therapy. Sometimes it's just to have a presence in the home so the loved one can go out. Oftentimes it was like, go get their hair done, go run groceries, or do errands and things like that. And so a volunteer can do many, many, many roles, and we're always looking for volunteers. So you can check on our website, and there's an application process. But whatever you want, we probably can find a skill for you, and then we personalize each volunteer to each patient and family based on their hobbies and their skills. So
I bet you there's a donate button on that website too, and that you can use some extra funds.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we serve everybody regardless of their inability to pay, and part of that is through donations. And so we don't turn away anyone if they don't have insurance coverage or unhoused or anything like that. And so the donations help us go serve everyone, and also support our programs like our dementia support programs, our caregiving series, all the things that we kind of go above and beyond the basic hospice benefit.
And what is your website for our viewers?
HopeHospice.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here, Anthony. It's been a pleasure. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to meet Tom, who's going to tell us all about Little Miracles. Welcome back. Tom McEvilly from Little Miracles is joining us now to let everyone know about this organization and how they support the community. Thank you so much for being here, Tom.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So tell us all about Little Miracles, how it started, what's your mission?
Yeah. So Little Miracles was founded in 2022, so just a couple years ago, by two ladies in Pleasanton, Melissa Danzig and Diana Keller. And they're both in leadership at Little Miracles now. And they identified a growing need in the community to help disadvantaged families provide baby essentials to their babies and toddlers. It's still a need, it's a growing need. And so really that's the primary mission, is to really help local families in the Tri-Valley provide baby essentials for their babies and toddlers. But really a secondary mission is to provide families a safe and effective place to rehome their baby clothes and toys. I mean, as a father of 4 kids, we have a lot of hand-me-downs, and it's great to know that those can go right back in the community for families that need them.
Absolutely. I'm the baby of 9, so they were pretty much worn out by the time I got them.
Yeah.
But hand-me-downs are wonderful, and really, kids don't wear them that often. You're getting like new things.
Sure. And sometimes, a Christmas dress or Christmas outfit on a baby or toddler, they've worn it once, and then someone else could, lovingly rehome that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Little Miracles is a nonprofit.
Yes.
So tell us about your staff. You already told us a little bit about the founders. Let's talk about the people that make Little Miracles happen.
Yeah, we call them the Miracle Crew.
Oh, I love it.
And it's a dedicated group of people. Just to give you an idea of the scale, so 250 volunteers last year distributed over $500,000 worth of baby supplies to 650 families in 1,000 packages, and I can describe those packages here in a minute. But so those volunteers do all kinds of different jobs. They accept our in-kind donations every Sunday between 2:30 and 5. They organize our little warehouse, organize the baby clothes, launder the baby clothes. So they really make sure that everything is going smoothly in the operation.
I love it. So a new baby, or a little miracle, is very exciting, but it can be a huge financial strain. What areas do you cover, and who's eligible to apply for this support?
Yeah, that's a great point. A new baby can be joyful, but it can be financially stressful, especially for families that are struggling to get by. And your viewers may be aware that there's about 20,000 people in the Tri-Valley living at or below the poverty line, and that includes about 5,000 children, 1,000 of whom are under the age of 5. Right, so there's a growing need. Families in the Tri-Valley, so locally, Pleasanton, Livermore, Dublin, San Ramon, can go to our website, littlemiraclespleasanton.org. They fill out a little application. They tell us about their baby, their family, and they can do that. They can apply and then reapply after 90 days. And expecting mothers can apply 8 weeks before their due date.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
What type of baby essentials might be available for people?
Yeah, great question. We do try to tailor every package specifically to a family's needs. So for example, our parents could go onto our website, fill out a little application. They tell us about their baby. Is it a baby boy, baby girl? What's the age? What are the size? And then our miracle crew get to work. They roll up their sleeves and they kind of go into Santa's workshop mode, and they put together a beautiful package for that family and for that baby. It might include baby clothes. Let's say it's for a 1-year-old baby boy.
Okay.
Little baby outfits, baby shoes, a blanket, toys, books, either in Spanish or in English, and really whatever that family needs. Maybe they need a stroller, maybe they need a car seat. And so we really try to tailor that package to that family. And the great thing too, by the way, is once we've assembled that package, the family comes to our location in Pleasanton, picks it up. They usually bring the baby with them.
Oh, yay!
Which is like it's pure happiness and joy, especially when they bring that little one with them. So
I imagine so. Babies are wonderful. So I assume you need all types of donations, clothes, baby items, but money too to fill in the blanks. Talk about your donation needs. Yeah,
so we like to accept gently used baby supplies. So we talked about hand-me-downs. The good stuff, when it's still, clean and functioning. So we do accept clothes, toys, books, blankets. We accept car seats, strollers. The advice there is we want those to be within the last 5 years of use because, believe it or not, car seats and strollers have expiration dates.
Wow.
I know, right? Huh. Who would have thought? So we want to make sure that everything we are rehoming is safe and clean and ready to be enjoyed by a new family. Excellent.
So I imagine other donations and like corporate sponsors, in-kind donations, definitely reach out on the website.
Yeah, and on that, just to give an idea of scale, but 80% of the supplies that we distribute, we collect through in-kind donations, right? So think, gently used clothes, blankets, car seats, strollers. 20% of the supplies that we distribute, we buy brand new.
Yeah.
So diapers, wipes, baby formula, and actually car seats we buy brand new as well. And we get the funding to make those purchases through community grants and corporate donations. And so to your point, we really do like to work with Tri-Valley businesses, small and large, that have a giving and doing, focus and philosophy, purpose greater than self, and work with those organizations to give back to the community. Excellent. Well, I'm sure you need volunteers and all that, and all of this can be found on your website, I imagine. One more time, what's that website? Yeah, littlemiraclespleasanton.org. And to your point, teamwork makes the dream work. The Miracle Crew could always get bigger. We've got volunteer slots. People can sign up, littlemiraclespleasanton.org. They can sign up for a volunteer slot, and we'd love to put them to work. Who doesn't want to be a member of the Miracle Crew? Exactly. Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you. Stay with us. When we come back, NAMI Tri-Valley is here to talk about mental health. Welcome back to Conversations. I'm your host, Mel McKay. Nearly 2 decades ago, 5 individuals came together to improve the lives of those affected by mental illness. Today, the organization, National Alliance on Mental Illness, Tri-Valley, continues to support and advocate for those looking for help. I'm now joined by Marsha McInnis, president of NAMI. Welcome to the show, Marsha. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm excited to share the knowledge that I have. Well, thank you so much for being here. Tell us about how NAMI Tri-Valley serves our Tri-Valley region. Well, we provide a number of things since we are a nonprofit, and we collaborate with other organizations, and we're dedicated to providing a quality of life for anyone who is ready to look for one. I think a way to put this is that we kind of pick up the pieces in a way. So we have support groups, and we have classes. We have a workshop for parents and another workshop for families around suicide prevention, because we do put a really deep focus on how to prevent suicide. We do guest speakers that come in. We just had a psychiatrist in that asked the doc session. Anything we can do to educate the community. That is so wonderful, the general meetings. We just covered so many things that you do in the first couple of minutes. It's amazing, Marsha. So this time of year, the holidays can be wonderful, but for some it can be really hard mentally for your mental health.
How can we cope with the stress that we have during the holidays and how it shines a light on our mental health issues?
Sure. And that doesn't necessarily affect anyone that has any profound mental health issues, but this is stress and strain of holiday and what we're expected to be happy, it doesn't necessarily ring true with everyone. And so, that question was presented to me in the past, and I'm thinking, I think that, getting enough sleep,
priority.
Huge. It's huge. Eating right. Maybe sample that piece of chocolate or truffle instead of the whole box, like me. The whole box. I gotta have it. But just to kind of measure yourself, be mindful of kind of what you're doing, and try to keep it in the same rhythm and routine that you normally would do the rest of the year. I think that helps. Mm-hmm. Reach out to friends.
Yes.
Take a break. Have that cup of coffee or tea or whatever it is you enjoy, even if it's half hour out of your day.
Yeah.
Good habit to be getting into.
Yeah. I like that, Marsha. I like that a lot. So this time of year, a lot of people can feel very lonely due to loss and grief. What are some resources out there for those who are really feeling the brunt of loneliness, just like it's a constant companion?
I did a little bit of research on that just on my own, online. 1/3 of Americans are lonely.
Wow, that's a lot.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
And loneliness is likened health-wise to someone smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Wow.
So it has a very profound impact on one's health. So the resources, if you're in mental health crisis, if it's really serious, and I know I would love to share more on crisis contacts, but 988.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to call 988. 988 and through Alameda County is through the Crisis Support Services of Alameda County, another wonderful nonprofit.
Yes.
And they have very skilled people that manage the phone. I've called.
You can text too.
You can text.
A lot of younger people aren't into picking up the phone and calling, Marsha, so we
You
got to give
are
them a text outlet.
absolutely right. Thank you
Text
for reminding.
988.
Yes. And then the other is, if you're a veteran, you would press 1, or Spanish-speaking folks can press 2.
They've got it all covered. They really put a lot of thought into 988, which I'm very happy about.
Yes, they did.
So where can our viewers go to learn more, sign up for the meeting, check out a support group?
You can do that, but even in the whole idea of being lonely, there are some things you can do for yourself. So you can reach out to your family and friends. I was mentioning this to someone today, and they said, but what if you don't have family, and what if you don't have friends? Well, another thought is to find the things that you're most interested in and get involved with it. Or NAMI Tri-Valley is looking for volunteers.
There we go.
Hint. Just a little hint.
Well, that's the perfect way to wrap up our interview. Where do we go to volunteer and learn everything you do at NAMI Tri-Valley? Give us that website so they can just jump on.
NAMITrivalley.org. We're open every day.
NAMITrivalley.org. I love it. Thank you, Marsha.
Yeah.
Appreciate all you're doing.
Thank you so much.
We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, Emily will join us with an update from Valley Humane Society. Welcome back to Conversations. Emily Scholz is joining us from Valley Humane Society. Thank you so much for being here, Emily.
Absolutely, I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I'm doing really well. How about you?
Good. So Valley Humane has been around since 1987.
Yes, we have.
But for those who don't know, tell us about Valley Humane, the vision and the mission.
Sure, yeah. So our vision is really to make sure that everybody knows the love of an animal and that all animals know the love of a family. And so it's pretty simple, but we really do a lot in our community. Like you said, we've been around since 1987. We have an adoption center, we have a surgery center, we have a lot of community programs, and so we're really trying to help the pet owners of our community and help more people be pet owners.
Yeah, it's the best thing in the entire world.
It is.
I'm telling you, the best thing. So how is Valley Humane funded?
So we are funded privately by donors, by viewers like you. And so luckily we have a really good community that does support us. And so we're a private 501c3. And like you said, we've been in operation since 1987 and done a lot for our community and really appreciate everything our community has done for us.
That says a lot to not have any type of federal or state funding or grants.
Right.
That's a lot. And that means we got a lot of animal lovers in the Tri-Valley, which I love so much. So the holidays are a busy season, and sometimes our pets are not our focus. What should we be aware of during this time of year when it comes to taking proper care of our babies, our pets?
That's a great question. I mean, so right now, it's a busy time of year. Let's face it, we all have Amazon coming to the door a lot.
Oh, right.
So you do want to be cautious with your pets. Don't expect your guests to know to close the door behind them. Don't expect your guests not to know that, they can't put a plate of food down for your pet to get into it. So I do think it's a good idea to be extra cautious with guests in the home. Secure your pets, make sure there's a gate or something like that. Or personally, my big tip is I had a very naughty cat for many years, always in the Christmas tree. So when I put the Christmas tree up every year, I take a fishing line, I secure it to the wall to make sure that it doesn't come tumbling down. So there's my personal pro tip for the holiday.
What a great idea, and a lot easier than doing an upside down tree or any of the other cat friendly trees that you might see.
Right.
And honestly, who could blame them? It looks great. Why wouldn't you want to climb in a tree if you could?
And they look super cute in the tree when you take a photo.
Right? So cute. I love that tip. Thank you. So what's a good reason to adopt a pet? Some people think pets are good gifts. So let's kind of cover that. The real true reason to adopt an animal around Christmas.
Sure. So, a lot of people do have time around Christmas. The kids have time off of school. Maybe you've got some vacation. So it can be a great time to adopt because you have that window to get the animal settled into your home, get them trained, work on helping them understand that this is now their forever home. Getting a pet as a gift can be a great idea, but at the same time, we really encourage people to bring grandma in, help her pick the right dog. So it's not really fair just to show up and say, here's your new best friend. We like to choose our best friends.
Right.
And so, we can do things like work with people to, help sponsor a fee, pay for the fee ahead of time. But we would encourage you, if you want to make that gift, don't bring home the dog. Bring grandma, bring your uncle, bring them to the animal shelter, and we'll help you find that perfect new friend.
Exactly, because sometimes literally there's a litter and there's one pet that you just bond with.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my Lord, this cat was meant to be mine.
Yes.
Now you recently opened the surgery center, the Scholz Surgery Center.
That's right.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, the surgery center has been an incredible opportunity to help people with more access to veterinary care. Let's face it, veterinary care is expensive, and we all want to do the best for our animals, and so we want to make sure that cost and expense is not a preventative to giving your animal the best possible care. So our surgery center opened up first as a spay and neuter clinic, so we're really helping make sure that fewer animals are entering the shelters. We need fewer unwanted litters out there. So let's get our pets spayed and neutered. You can do that, right here in Pleasanton. And then we're also, working with people that are trapping feral cats and helping them reduce the feral cat population. We're exploring other opportunities with that surgery center, because we do have a great veterinarian on staff. We have multiple veterinarians on staff that are doing really good work, and we want to make sure we help take care of the pets here in the Tri-Valley.
Yeah, it's so important. So one more thing I want to circle back on the holidays is making sure that you know what foods pets are that are reactive to. No chocolate, no raisins, no onions, no garlic. Basically, don't feed them anything off of your holiday plate.
Right. Yeah. There are, it can be safe to give them a little bit of turkey without the skin if you want to share it with them. But, the pet stores have all sorts of great holiday-themed treats. You can get, holiday feast-themed chew bones. They even make canned food that's Thanksgiving dinner flavor.
Exactly.
So maybe just think about, buying that special food and making your pet a plate.
Exactly. We want them to be a part of the holiday, just with foods that don't send you to the vet and a very, very expensive thing that puts your animal at risk.
Yeah, that's not a good way to spend the holiday at the pet emergency center.
Exactly. So please, just make sure you know what is allergic to your animal. So where can people go to find out how to donate, to volunteer, to foster? You have a fantastic foster program.
We do. We have a really great foster program. We always need more people. Literally, the more foster homes we have, the more animals we can rescue. You can learn more about us at our website, valleyhumane.org. TV30.org, or give us a call. We have great volunteers working our front desk, or visit us. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are more than happy to get people in, talk about the options to adoption. If you're exploring what it means to own a pet and you have questions, please come see us.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Emily.
Yeah,
we
thank you.
appreciate it. And that'll do it for this edition of Conversations. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. If you did, please visit us at facebook.com/TV30.org and click that like button. From all of us here at Conversations, I'm Mel McKay. Thank you for joining us.